can tell from the title of this video, I will be talking about Accutane because that is one of the things I used, but I will get into the details about that later. So pretty much I've been wanting to make a video like this for a really long time because acne is something that I feel like a lot of people struggle with, and it's one of those topics where people don't really feel comfortable talking about it, but they want to know more about it at the same time, and yeah, I just think that this would maybe be helpful for some of you guys, so I decided to make it. But before I get started, I do know that I tend to blabber on and on, especially with videos like this where I could just go on forever. So I have a thought about you guys, do not worry. If you guys open up the description box below, you will see that I have linked different time segments and they correspond with different things that I'm talking about in the video. So if you're here just for advice on Accutane or tips for that, or if you're here for something else, be sure to look down there and you guys can skip all the parts that you don't care for and just go straight to whatever you are looking for, so that is there. And if you're here for the whole video, then just sit down, get comfy, and listen. Okay, so let's just get started. Okay, so for me, my acne started in about grade 6 or 7, and I think that this is a little earlier than most people start, but I do have a large family history of it from my dad's side. They all had really bad acne, so yeah, mine started in approximately grade 6 and 7. So at that point, I didn't do very much about it because none of the girls in my school in elementary school wore makeup or anything, so I didn't either. I just kind of let it be, and it wasn't that bad to be honest, but it was a little insecurity of mine just because no one else seemed to have it at that age and I was the only one. But anyway, so I didn't really do anything to cover it up until about grade 8. I think my mom, she introduced me to foundation for the first time, and so I wore liquid foundation in grade 8, and still even in grade 8 when I moved to high school, not a lot of the girls that I knew wore makeup. They were all barefaced, so it was a little bit, I don't know why I was a little insecure about wearing makeup. I guess just because no one else did and I didn't feel like I wanted to stand out like that. But anyway, so I did wear liquid foundation throughout grade 8. And I actually do remember because I went to grade 8 camp, and when I went there, I remember being so embarrassed about wearing foundation, even though I'm pretty sure that everyone could tell that I was wearing it, but I guess psychologically I just didn't think they could, and I thought that I was, I don't know what I thought. But anyway, so I was pretty embarrassed about it, and I remember that at grade 8 camp, I did not want to apply, I didn't want everyone seeing me applying my foundation, so I actually did it inside the bathroom stall using like this tiny little compact mirror, and it was horrible and terrible. But yeah, that's kind of how bad it was, that I couldn't really go a day without wearing foundation, and actually it wasn't that bad. It was just I thought it was that bad. It was more like of what I personally thought of it, and that does tend to happen with a lot of people. I think especially with acne, they think that it's a lot worse than it truly is, and it just grows as a bigger insecurity. So even after that, I was a competitive swimmer since I was 8, and I only quit when in grade 10. So from grade 8, like I told you guys, I started wearing foundation, blah blah, and I was actually so insecure about my acne that I even wore it to swim practice, which now that I think of it is really, really, really stupid. And it was just so bad because I didn't really know how to apply it all that well, and the shade that I had was a little darker than what my actual skin tone was, so it literally looked like a mask. And I wore that to swim practice, which is horrible because, I don't know what I was thinking, but that's the truth. Like, that's how insecure I was about it. So through that time, from grade 8 to about grade 10, I tried a bunch of different things to clear up my skin. I tried Proactive, I tried a bunch of different creams. Some of the names that I can remember off the top of my head are Differin, Tactuo, just benzoyl peroxide. I tried a bunch of different creams that were prescribed by my doctor, and none of them seemed to work. They were just, Clearasil, Clean and Clear, all these drugstore brands. I tried all of them, and they wouldn't really do anything except for irritate my skin or make it super dry, and I was a swimmer too, so the chlorine would react badly. It was just so bad, and nothing really worked. So throughout those years, my acne was getting worse and worse, and initially it had started above my forehead. I forgot to mention that. But throughout the years, it started spreading to around my cheeks, and my chin as well. Yeah, definitely my chin. But quickly on a side note, those creams, all of them that I mentioned, my acne was past the point of them helping me, but I have heard a lot of people that Differin is a really effective cream for most people who have a little milder acne, and my personal, not favorite, but the cream that I thought worked the best, even though it didn't totally cure mine, and the cream that I would recommend to those who have milder acne for sure is Accutane, and you guys should definitely ask your dermatologist or your doctor about it if you do have milder acne, because I truly believe that it can help those who have milder acne, so be sure to ask your doctor about that. Okay, so now that I had tried every cream, I was just like, I want this acne gone. And my doctor understood that too, because we had tried pretty much every prescription that was out there for my acne, and nothing had really worked. So the summer where I was about to go into grade 10, I finally decided that none of these creams are working for me, and so I went to my doctor and he agreed, because we literally had tried pretty much everything that was out there at the time. And so we decided to go on Accutane. Now, Accutane is not a topical drug, which means that it's not something that you apply. It is actually a pill, and they're very small pills, and the package looks like this, and they come in a pack of 30. So it is an oral drug for acne. Accutane is pretty much known as a last resort sort of thing for acne, because it is definitely the harshest thing that you can do for your acne, but for people like me who had really severe acne, it is really the only thing that does work. And if you're one of those people, you'll know, because you've tried every cream out there, you've gone to special masks and everything, and it just doesn't work. And so this is a last resort drug. So some really basic things about Accutane is that it pretty much works by stopping your oil glands from producing oil. Another thing about Accutane is that the dosage is determined by your height and your weight. And last but not least, it is a little bit pricey. So I don't know how much that matters to you guys, but I thought I would mention it because my insurance covered it, luckily. But if it doesn't, I would say you are going to be paying around $100 a month, give and take, depending on what dose you get and how often you take it and all those factors. I would say approximately $100 a month for a prescription of Accutane. So I'm just really quickly going to jump back and finish my acne story, and then I'll do all the rest of the details of Accutane and such. So I'm just going to flip back quickly. And I went on Accutane in the summer of going into grade 10, like I said. And I was on it for about 4 months, I would say, and my skin completely cleared after that, and everything was good. And I will definitely talk about the side effects and the bad stuff, pretty much, a little bit later. Sorry, I'm jumping back and forth because I want to make sure to get through this. Yeah, so my skin completely cleared by about December, and after that it was all good. Perfect skin, nothing wrong, no pimples. But I would say that about over just this past summer, I started breaking out a tiny bit, because after you're off Accutane, pretty much your skin is supposed to stay clear forever. But some people do need a second round of it, but that does come a lot later, like it did for me. So I did it grade 10, and then now I was going into grade 12, so it's 2 years later, and I started breaking out a little in my forehead in small bumps. And the reason, and right now I'm actually on Accutane again, and to be honest, my acne was definitely not as bad as it was originally, like way back when I took it first in grade 10, but The reason why I went back on it was just because it's my grad year and there's going to be a lot of events, a lot of photos, and so I just really didn't want to risk my skin getting worse again. I just wanted it to be good for all of these events, so which is why I'm on it back again. And hopefully 2 rounds all I need. For some people, they only need 1 round of it and they're totally done. This is my 2nd round, so hopefully, fingers crossed, it will be the end of it for me. Okay, so now that my whole skin story is done, I'm going to jump right back into Accutane, and I'm going to be talking about the side effects because there are a ton. Yeah, so it is a really, really harsh drug on your body, your skin, just everything. It's a very, very harsh drug, and you guys should definitely be aware of that before you go on it because there are tons of side effects, and some I experienced. The most common ones I definitely experienced, and there are some that I didn't experience, thankfully, but some people do, so you guys should definitely be aware of those. Now, number 1 to begin with, Accutane is so harsh on your body that if you get pregnant, there is a 99.9% chance, which is ridiculously high if you don't know, that your baby will have a birth defect because of just how it works in your blood system. It just does something. Sorry, I'm not super sure about the specifics of it, but your baby will have a birth defect, which is why in the States I know they force whoever is taking it to be on 2 different types of birth control, which is really ridiculous, but it is very serious. And if you guys look on the back of your Accutane pill, it literally says no pregnancy on every single pill, and it cannot be stressed enough because it is a huge thing and you definitely need to be aware of that. Next, you do need to get a monthly blood test because it is very harsh on your body, and you just need to check that your liver is fine, your kidneys fine, or all your internal organs are basically doing what they're supposed to be doing. And so yeah, if you're scared of needles or whatever, just keep that in mind. I guess I'm fine with it. Like, I'm not afraid of them or anything, so it's okay. Like, it is a little bit annoying, but in my opinion, it's fine. So next, depression. It hasn't been a proven fact, and my doctor actually told me this. It's not proven that Accutane causes depression or that it's linked in any way. But it is one of the side effects that are listed in one of the warnings, because I have heard about some people who have gotten really, really depressed and have had suicidal thoughts and just some really serious stuff that you guys should be aware of. Luckily, this isn't something that I had to experience because I didn't feel my mood change. I've been cranky my whole life. So yeah, I really didn't think that my mood changed, but it is one of the side effects that are listed as a potential thing that may happen. Okay, so the side effect that I experienced the most, and I think is the most common for everyone, is dryness. And because, like I said, Accutane pretty much shuts off your oil glands and prevents them from producing oil. So dryness. When my doctor told me this, he's like, yeah, you're gonna be super dry, and I'm like, oh, that's fine. I'm super oily, so I want to be super dry, but no. Like, everywhere is dry. Your face will obviously, your skin will be super dry, but even like skin on other parts of your body, your arms, your legs, super dry. Your hands, yeah, it looks like in the winter especially, it looks like I have kind of like eczema because there's like these little red bumps all over because of just how dry it is, and so I need to constantly moisturize those. And the biggest dryness issue that I've had is with my lips, and a lot of people have been complaining about this because you get super dry lips, and it is ridiculous how dry my lips got. And okay, one other thing about me and my lips is that, you know how some people have this bad habit of like biting their fingernails or whatever, just one of those like pesky little habits? My bad habit is actually like picking the skin, like the dead skin off my lips, and that sounds really disgusting now that I say it out loud, but it's just something that is a super bad habit of mine. Whenever I have like dry skin on my lips, I have this tendency to just pick at it. And with Accutane, you have a lot of dry skin on your lips and you just always want to pick at it, or I do, and it's just so bad and it's just so dry and oh, it's terrible. But do stick around or skip to the tips section if you want, because after I talk about the side effects, I will be talking about my tips on how to deal with the side effects of Accutane, or the best things that I have found to be effective. So I will talk about how I dealt with dry lips there. And also dry skin for sure, super dry, super flaky, just be aware of that. And even my scalp, like as weird as that is, like my scalp's gotten dry too. Everywhere is just super dry. I feel like a sponge that's been laid out in the desert. Yeah, you get super dry from Accutane. Okay, so next, you have to avoid the sun like a plague, essentially. Okay, so maybe it's not that bad, but definitely you cannot go tanning, and if you go in the sun for too long, your skin will burn. It'll burn really, really bad, and my doctor pretty much told me to stay out of the sun. One other side effect that I didn't personally experience, but I know that a lot of people did, is that whole purging at the beginning. So a lot of people say that the first 2 to 4 weeks that they take it, their skin starts breaking out because the Accutane is trying to get rid of all of the oil and the oil inside of your skin, so you break out a lot. Now this never happened to me, but it does happen to some, so it is something to keep in mind. So if you have an event to go to in the next month or so, I would probably avoid taking it right away, just because if your skin does react badly and it does break out, you don't want it to be during that time period, so just keep that in mind. And lastly, no waxing your eyebrows or any parts of your face, essentially, because there have been some crazy horror stories where people have waxed their eyebrows and it's actually started bleeding because your skin's gotten so sensitive. So yeah, I used to wax my eyebrows and I was forced to start threading them just because of the Accutane, which kind of sucks because I don't like threading my eyebrows, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So now we've reached the tip section, and I'm kind of a pro at Accutane just because this is the second time that I'm on it, and I'm done in about 2 weeks, and from the first time I gained a lot of valuable experience, so I'm just gonna share that with you guys. So tip number 1, water will be your best friend. And we all know that water is really good for you in more than one ways, but especially when you're on Accutane, it's really important that you stay hydrated. And you'll notice actually that within the first couple of weeks, you'll start feeling really, really dehydrated and you'll be really thirsty all the time, or at least I did. And water is really important because it does help moisturize internally, because even though all these moisturizers and lip balms and stuff go from external, as long as you're hydrated on the inside, that's pretty much the best way you can make sure that your skin is moisturized. So yeah, drink a lot of water when you're on Accutane because you will definitely see a difference with that. Tip number 2, so as I mentioned earlier, you need to stay away from the sun, and that doesn't just mean no tanning, but even not going to the beach and stuff, which sucks. So the best tip I have for that is to take Accutane during the winter, where it's colder, there's not as much sun, and you have a lot of school, so the chance of you sitting outside and tanning is a lot lower. If you are somewhere or under a circumstance where you have to be in the sun, be sure to wear really high SPF and just slather it all over your face, and even wear a cute hat or like a cap or something and try to stay out of the sun as best as you can, especially keep your face out of the sun. So tip number 3, I actually have 2 holy grail products which are absolutely amazing. So the first product is rosebud salve, and it is for your lips. I think you can actually use it for other places, but I used it for my lips, and I believe you can get it at Sephora for about $12, and it does look a kind of like pinkish orangish, and you can actually see that I've hit pan on this because I use it so ridiculously much. And yeah, so you just slather on before or when you're about to go to bed, and then the morning after, it's totally smooth and perfect. The second item is Vichy's moisturizer. The best thing about this cream I have found is that it is not oil based, so it doesn't make your skin heavy, it doesn't add oil, but it does an amazing job at moisturizing. And it is a higher end brand, so it is a little bit pricey. I think it's about $30, but in my opinion it's totally worth it because I have used other creams and they just haven't been as effective at controlling my flakiness. So yeah, I just really like this cream. So tip number 4 is to exfoliate super lightly, and I cannot stress the lightly part enough because when you're Accutane, you'll notice that your skin is super flaky, and even now when I do all the tips that I'm giving you guys, it is still flaky, and especially on my nose for some reason. Recently it's been like that. But anyways, yeah, so exfoliating really lightly helps, and what I like to do is I like to take my Clarisonic. I only use 20 seconds for my whole face, and I hold it super lightly against my skin. Like, I don't push hard or anything. So yeah, exfoliate super lightly with something like that, and that should help a ton. And tip number 5, last but not least, is that you should try to take your pill at the same time each day. And this is just so that the dosage is the same throughout every day and you have the same amount of Accutane inside your body at all times of the day. But it's not that big of a deal, and I'm definitely not the best person at taking things at the same time, and I sometimes even forget to take my pill. And another tip for that is that take your little pill thing, and if you write dates on each of them, because I sometimes would like be halfway through the day and I'm like, wait, did I take it or did I not take it? And so it was either I wouldn't take it and then I didn't have any Accutane for the day, or I didn't want to double the amount I had. So yeah, if you guys just label like February 23rd, 24th, like stuff like that, and you'll know if you have taken it for the day or not. Or you can just not be an idiot like I am and remember, but I have issues with that, so yeah. Alright, so that is it for the tips that I have, and I did finish my acne story as I told you guys, and I did realize that as I was actually looking for old pictures about what my skin looked like, and just because I mentioned this a bunch of times, but I was so insecure about my acne, and because of that I actually don't really have any pictures where I'm barefaced. Anyways, so yeah, I'll try to find some pictures and insert them, but I don't promise anything because I really don't think I have any. And if I do find some, they're probably some like weird random pictures of me, and I probably look really funny in them. So just ignore the facial expression and just look at my acne, or don't. I don't know. But yeah, so I did mention a bunch of side effects in this video about Accutane and some tips about them too. And the reason why I mentioned the side effects wasn't to scare you guys off or make you not want to go on it, because that's totally not my intention. It's totally up to you guys, and in fact, I'm a supporter of Accutane because it did work for me, and I do understand because it might not work for some people, and they may have like bad reactions to it, or you guys just may not want to deal with all the side effects, and that's totally fine. Totally up to you guys. I just wanted to let you guys know what I did and my experiences with Accutane. But if you guys do decide to go on Accutane, comment below and tell me your experience and whether it worked for you or not. And also, if you have any questions at all about anything, about like my skin or Accutane or anything at all, just comment below and let me know, because I will definitely try my best to help you guys. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys but I hope you guys gained a lot of information through my experiences, and I hope that it helped you for sure. So yeah, be sure to give it a thumbs up if you did like it, and I will talk to you guys later.